Hello. Today I'm going to be reading the final book. I know this is book 2, but it is counting as book 2 and 3 because this book received 2 awards. It received the Newbury Award, which is an award given for the story or like the words in the book, and it is strictly given to American authors. And this book also received the Caldecott Award, which is given to the books with like the best illustrations and stuff. And that's also strictly given to American illustrators. So the book I'm going to be reading today is called Showway, written by Jacqueline Woodson, illustrated by Hudson Talbot. And if you remember last year around this time, I read another Jacqueline Woodson book. It was called The Other Side, and that was to celebrate her 23rd anniversary on that book. So this book is a really powerful book, so beware. And it has a lot to relate to Black history. Let's begin. Showway. When Sunny's great-grandma was 7, she was sold from the Virginia land to a plantation in South Carolina without her ma or pa, but with some muslin her ma had given her, and 2 needles she got from the big house, and thread dyed bright red with berries from the chokecherry tree. And these are the images to show you why she received the Caldecott Award. So you can see them. In South Carolina, Big Mama raised Sonny's great-grandma, raised most of the slaves' children on that large patch of land. At night, Big Mama told the children stories she'd tell in a whisper about children growing up and getting themselves free, and the children leaned in and listened real hard. Whoops. And this is the illustrations. And in the daytime, when there was some few minutes for a slave to rest a bit, Big Mama taught Sonny's great-grandma to sew colored thread into the stars and moons and roads that slave children grew up and followed late in the night, a piece of quilt and the true moon leading them. Years passed. Big Mama moved on to the next world, and Sonny's great-grandma grew up, jumped broom with a young man named Ensler, had herself a baby girl, and named that child Mathis May. Loved the baby up so? Yes, she loved that baby up. And one day Mathis May would be Sonny's grandma, but not for a long, long time yet. In the meantime, she learned to sew. Beautiful girl child learned to sew. When Mathis May was 7, she got sold away to a star from her mama's blanket, took a little piece of the robe, pressed it to her face when she wanted to remember back home, held it to her heart to feel back home, got herself a piece of muslin and some thread somewhere, and kept up her sewing. So fine, she was making the clothes for everyone in the big house and the slaves too. And at night she sewed stars and moons and roads, tiny patch pieces of stars and moons and roads. Slaves whispered what no one was allowed to say, that Mathis know how to make. Here it is. A showaway came to her when they needed to talk, came to her for the stories of brave people, came to her for the patch pieces just before they disappeared into the night. But Mathis May stayed on, grew tall, and straight bond. Jumped room with another slave. That slave was killed running off to the north side of the war months before he got to meet his baby girl child who was born free that same year. 1863, history went and lost her name. And this is like a map of the USA, showing the parts where she got lost. And where all the war happened. Years later, Sunny came. Sunny's mama held her up in the moonlight night, showed her to the stars. The moon whispered into her ear, "There's a road, girl, there's a road. Love that Sunny up so." Yes, she loved that Sunny up. Oh, wait. Let me show you. Here we are. Sunny and her mama stayed on the land. They'd always known picking cotton for a little pay and a piece of that ground to the farm, called that land home. Stayed on with the other people, none of them slaves anymore. Hard work, making a life from a pink day to a blue-black night, but it was a free life just the same. And when the day was finally over, it wasn't hard to find a thing or two to smile about. At night, they cut and sewed strange lines and odd designs. People said about Sunny, that child could find some beauty in so many things. Georgina, who grew tall and straight, bond and free, picking out words from her mama's Bible by 3. Reading by the oil lamplight at age 5, people say about it's actually pronounced Georgiana. People say about Georgiana, she always had a book in her hand, grew up to teach at a small school in Anderson, had herself 2 girls at once, named them Caroline and Anne. Loved those babies up so. Yes, they loved those babies up. And Caroline and Anne grew up tall and straight. Bond turned 7, walking in a line to change the laws that kept black people and white people living separate. There's a better day coming, Frederick Douglass. Let freedom ring from every hill, Martin Luther King Jr. When I found I had crossed that line, there was such glory over everything, Harriet Tubman. Let my people go, 19th century spiritual. Facing the rising sun of our new days begun. Let us march on till victory is won. James W. Johnson. No bomb can kill the dreams I hold, for freedom never dies. Langston Hughes. I have borne 13 children, and see most all sold off to slavery. Sojourner Truth. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Ella Baker. For I am my mother's daughter, and the drums of Africa still beat in my heart. Mary McLeod Bethune. And those were all kind of like quotes from African Americans who like changed the world. Oh, here it is. And they're all walking in a line, marching for freedom, for the separation of the blacks and whites. They were a little bit scared sometimes, but pinned inside their dresses were show-away patches Grandma Sunny had given them. And something about those patches made Scared hang his mean old head and walk away. Anne grew up writing poems, and sometimes she made those poems into songs. Caroline stitched those songs into art that people bought up to hang up on their walls. Anne had me, and Mama loved this baby so. Yes, she loved this baby up. And when I was 7, I didn't have to work in a field or walk in any freedom lines, but I still read like Georgiana and wrote like Anne. And when the words were slow in coming, I sewed stars and moons and roads into quilts and curtains and clothes, because Mama said all that stuff that happened before you were born in your own kind of show way. There's a road, girl, my mama said. There's a road. Had a baby and named that child Toshi Georgiana. Love that Toshi up so. Yes, I love that Toshi up. So some mornings I started all over, holding tight to little Toshi. I whisper a story that came before her. And then right here is the author, Jacqueline Woodson. Now, Sunny was your great-grandma, and when Sunny's great-grandma was 7, the end. And then I'll redo this little description here on the back cover. Sunny's family makes showways, quilts with secret meanings that are maps to freedom. Her family tells stories of bravery that inspire courage. Each generation passes on to the next the belief that there is a better road to a better place. There is a road to a better place. And that is the end of the story. I really hoped you liked these two Black History Month books. Hidden Figures, again, got the Coretta Scott King Award, and Showway got 2 awards, the Caldecott Award and the Newbury Award. And I really hope you enjoyed this book, and yes, I hope you all have a good day. Bye.